My thoughts, my opinion. Sports podcast.
Yo, what it is? Welcome back to another episode of MTMO Sports Podcast, Doug. And Doug, I cannot believe I am now on my 129th thought, you feel me? So, and this is going to be a dope episode because I'm going to be giving my AFC predictions, you feel me, and who I feel like is going to win their division and who I believe that feel like is going to make the playoffs, you feel me? So, make sure y'all stay tuned for this dope episode, you feel me? But before I go any further, man, if you're not already a subscriber, yo, please like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel as I am trying to reach to my goal, 1,000 subscribers, you feel me? So help me get there, you feel me? Because like I said, man, this is one of the dopest sports podcasts that you're going to find around any sports area, you feel me? So just make sure you go tell a friend who could possibly wants to be your friend that MTMO Sports Podcast is one of the dopest podcasts that you can find out here that's dealing in the sports world, you feel me? I'm up here giving you keeping up on the updated situations what's going on in each sport as far as NFL, NBA, boxing, NCAA, whether it's college, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, you feel me? So just make sure you go out here and help me and support me, you feel me, in MTMO_sports podcast, you feel me, on YouTube and most majority of my social media platforms, you feel me? So now that I got the promotional part away, you feel me, now let's go ahead and say that we are 1 week away from the NFL starting, you feel me? The NFL has finally came back. Teams already got that 53-man roster put together, man, and teams are starting to put into their season plays together. You feel me? Offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, even special team coordinators has really got to step their game up this year because it's going to be a couple of new changes. You feel, especially on that kickoff. But like I said, we are 1 week away, and with that 1 week away, man, we open up the season with two top AFC contenders, you feel me, and the Baltimore Ravens, you know, and the Kansas City Chiefs, feel me, who is the last year's defending Super Bowl champions. And since we are opening up the season with the top two AFC teams, you feel me, it's only fitting, it's only right that today that I go ahead and give you my AFC prediction, you feel me? So I would give you who gonna win the AFC West, South, East, North, you feel me? And just in that order, you feel me? And we're gonna be starting off with the AFC West, man. The AFC West is got a couple of good teams, you feel me? It got the defending champs and the Kansas City Chiefs that's in that division. You got the Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. You have the new head coach and the Las Vegas Raiders and Antonio Pierce. And you also got another new head coach who's back into the NFL and Jim Harbaugh for the Los Angeles Chargers, you feel me? And I think that this division right here is pretty much going to be, can you catch the Chiefs? Because we clearly seen that the Chiefs you cannot count them out. No matter what the situation is, no matter what they are going through, you feel me? But you cannot count the Chiefs out. And we are sitting here looking at Patrick Mahomes as possibly can be the next Tom Brady. And the way he keep putting up stats and the way he's collecting these rings, it's starting to look like he's starting to become that baby goat that everybody's claiming him to be. You feel me? And excuse me. And now it's just pretty much this AFC West is pretty much trying to play catch up for the Super Bowl champs. You feel me? So I really just think that a lot of these teams with their new quarterback situations, such as the Raiders and the Broncos, coming in with different quarterbacks from last year, and now you got Jim Harbaugh that's helping out Justin Herbert, and also bringing a new offense coordinator in Greg Roman. We got to see like what do this division really is going to bring us. You feel me? And I just really just like I said previously, it's just going to be, can you catch the Chiefs? You feel me? Because last year in the AFC standings and the AFC West standings, it was the Chiefs who led the division 11-6, of course. And then you had the Broncos and the Raiders who tied for second and third for 8 and 9, both of them coming in with 8 and 9, and then you had the Chargers, who had a real bad year, couldn't get it right, and just pretty much shit it all over the field with a 5-12 record. You feel me? And what I'm seeing from this division is that a lot of teams really won't catch the Chiefs this year. You feel me? I feel like maybe the Chargers are maybe the only team that could potentially give the Chiefs a little bit of trouble. You feel me? Far as the Raiders, let's start there. The Raiders. The reason why I think that the Raiders will have a tough year this year is for the simple fact that, number one, they got Gardner Minshew as their quarterback. Now, don't get me wrong, Gardner Minshew has done good deeds since he's been coming to since he entered the NFL. But I just don't think that Gardner Minshew is that guy that can get you over the hump and get you deep into the playoffs. You feel me? Because Gardner Minshew is a good backup. I give him that. But when you put him in that starting role, yes, he can give you some good games. But it's not going to be the games that can really win that division. Like, you don't really compare or see Gardner Minshew going toe-to-toe against Patrick Mahomes. You're going to be like, well, this is going to be a good match. And Gardner Minshew maybe got a little bit upper hand over Patrick Mahomes. No, it's not like that. So I just really think that the Las Vegas Raiders will have an also struggling year. And y'all will see once I give up my prediction of the stance. Let's go with the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton go ahead and booted out Russell Wilson. Those two didn't really have a great relationship, but Russell Wilson did end the year with a decent numbers. You feel me? And I just think that the way that these two had parted ways were just not in good fashion, not in good spirits, because the Broncos was all in with Russell Wilson. But then once Sean Payton wasn't all in, you can see that the Broncos took a step back and said, you know what, Sean, man, you're a potential Hall of Fame coach. You go ahead and do your thing. If you don't like Russell Wilson, we don't like Russell Wilson. And I think that's the reason why Denver Broncos went on here and got rid of Russell Wilson. Because I really think that if Sean Payton was not there, and if Sean Payton wasn't the coach that he is, Russell Wilson still will be in the Denver Broncos uniform this upcoming season. Because why go ahead and give him that contract and then you're going to want to just give up on him? You feel me? So I just really just think that now they did get a good steal out of drafting Bo Nix coming in as their starting quarterback this year. And I think Bo Nix was the right guy to be their starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. But the only thing about it is Bo Nix will have to go through a learning curve because I don't think that the Denver Broncos have a lot of good talent down there. Now, don't get me wrong. They got talent in certain spots like the wide receiver and the tight end position. But now we got to sit here and think that how is that offensive line? Russell Wilson had to kind of run for his life last year behind that offensive line. Can Sean Payton be real patient with Bo Nix, or is he really going to actually have Bo Nix try his best to win the season? You know what I mean? Because we already know he's going to be that guy. He is that guy for them for the start of the season. But are you really going to press the issue and force him to be a Drew Brees type quarterback? You feel me? So that's where I'm at with the Broncos. I just need to see a little bit consistency out of Bo Nix this year. I don't really have him winning big numbers this year, but we will see where I line them up. But the Kansas City Chiefs, as we already know, man, these guys, like I said, defending champs, and these guys didn't just sit back and keep the same type of talent they had last year. Yes, they kept some of the pieces from last year, but they also build on certain positions in their organization, like the wide receiver. Now, I'm not saying the wide receiver was depleted, the wide receiver was trash or ass in that nature, but that wide receiver core wasn't the best. You know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes really had to put his stamp down last year and show, and the guy Rice really showed up last year. But the Chiefs really went out here and really in the offseason, whether it was in the draft or whether it was in free agency, really went out here and focused on bringing a little bit more talent in that wide receiver room by bringing in Hollywood Brown, by bringing in drafting the guy Xavier out of college. You feel me? So you can just see that if you can just put speed around Patrick Mahomes, which that's what they did to open up that field, to open up Travis Kelce a little bit more, to take because these speed guys can take over the top at any given moment. That's going to really open up the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, where I want to see the Chiefs really improve at, because they did lose their top corner and Snead last year and in off season. So I just need to see that can the Chiefs defense really hold up to because remember the Chiefs defense really turned it on towards the end of the season. Now can they keep that momentum? Can Chris Jones, not having contract issues this year, can be focused and ready for this upcoming season and help carry the Chiefs to another Super Bowl, possibly three-peat, you feel me? So that's where I'm at with the AFC West. So here's my prediction of how I think the AFC West is going to line up. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs will win this division hands down because, like I said, I just think that they have the best group of talent in their organization. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs will be 12-5. Next will be this Los Angeles Chargers. With the new addition of Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman, you bringing in the good running backs from the Baltimore Ravens, you feel me, and J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. I really feel like that the pressure of Justin Herbert is going to get let off his shoulder just a little bit because they're going to be more of a run and pound team, you feel me? So I think that's going to really help Justin Herbert, but just we already know how Greg Roman's scheme is, you feel me? So it's going to be like a hit or miss, you feel me? So I think that the Chargers will end up 8-9. For the Broncos, I think they're going to be a 7-10. I think that Bo Nix is going to have a struggling time, but he's going to be able to win you some games, but not a lot of the big games that you really going to need. All because of, I think that him being a rookie is really going to show. For the Las Vegas Raiders, man, I really just don't think Gardner Minshew is the guy. I think that Antonio Pierce is really going to have his hands full when it comes to this offense, and also losing Josh Jacobs as the running back this year. Lost him to the Green Bay Packers. I just really think that the Las Vegas Raiders are going to really take a step back this year and not going to be that team that's really going to be a threat in my eyes. So I think the Kansas City Chiefs will win this division hands down, you feel me? So that's what I think about the AFC West. Now, another division where I feel like that it's an up-and-coming team really stole the show last year, and these guys really showed that making it seem it's having everybody think that this is automatically a playoff team now because of what they did last year. And this division is no other than the AFC South, where you got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who we thought would be taking over this division by now. You got the Indianapolis Colts, you got the Tennessee Titans, and you have the Houston Texans, who is the team I was just talking about being a surprise team, you feel me? And last year, like I said, the Houston Texans really stole the show. These guys was 10-7, won the division. Then it was second by the Jacksonville Jaguars, who was 9-8. Third by the Indianapolis Colts, who was 8-9. And then the last was the Tennessee Titans, who went 6-11, even with a Derrick Henry back there. But they had more quarterback troubles than anything. So this year, I really just think that this is going to be a test for the Houston Texans, because I just don't think that the Jacksonville Jaguars is really going to lay over and let them win that division that easily, like how they gave up the division last year. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be a little bit competitive because I just think that now they didn't got the taste of lumps and woes of being that top team in the AFC, and then all of a sudden towards the end of the season just start just dropping, and it was just like close dumb games, and it was close dumb mistakes by Trevor Lawrence, you feel me? And I think that this is the year that Trevor Lawrence is really going to have to show his growth. You know what I mean? Because we didn't already had hands down was giving Trevor Lawrence the lead when he was coming out of Clemson. Everybody thought that he was going to be the next best thing, since sliced bread. But at the same time, now we're starting to see that Trevor Lawrence is not just that guy who we thought he was going to be just yet. I still think it's some time for Trevor Lawrence. I just think Trevor Lawrence is really going to have to turn down his turnover rates, because my guy is a turnover machine at the wrong time in my eyes. You feel me? So That's where I'm at with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They most definitely going to have to turn it up a notch and actually try to compete a little bit more to win this division. The Tennessee Titans. I just think that this team is really going to be at the going to have a struggling year again. Don't get me wrong, they got good talent in DeAndre Hopkins, and they also brought in Calvin Ridley down there on a nice big deal. But the quarterback play is where we sit here and scratch our heads at. They got rid of their draft, who they drafted the year before, and Malik Willis. They sent him to Green Bay. Now you got Will Levis down there, who's potentially most definitely probably going to be week 1 starter down there. And the question is, do you got faith in them? They no longer had Derrick Henry, the reliable running back there. They went on here and signed Tony Pollard from the Dallas Cowboys. And then now we sit here questioning is, can the Tennessee Titans be relevant? You know, they also was dealing with a lot of woes on defense, man, because their defense really gave up a lot because their defense was always on the field a lot because of their offense really couldn't produce last year. So I just think that the Tennessee Titans is going to have a pretty much another long season in my eyes. I don't think that these guys are going to be as competitive. I think they're going to win some games, but it will not be a lot of games, you feel me, coming out of these guys. I just don't think that the Tennessee Titans really focus on the positions that they really needed. Yes, they went on here and brought in some good talent in wide receiver and running back, but that's all it was just good talent. Now we need to see, can these guys not just be a number 2 in their previous teams. Now they really going to take on a larger role like a Tony Pollard. Don't get me wrong, Tony Pollard did decent good work with the Dallas Cowboys, but at the same damn time, this guy also is coming off an injury. So I really just need to see that. And Calvin Ridley, yes, he put up good games, but there's a lot of games that he was absent also. So I just need to see more consistency out of Calvin Ridley. Is he going to try to be down there to be that number 1 wide receiver? You feel me? No disrespect to DeAndre Hopkins. I just think DeAndre Hopkins is a little up in age now. He's going to make plays because DeAndre Hopkins can run routes and he got good hands. But I just think that the DeAndre Hopkins that we used to seeing, we're not going to see a lot this year, upcoming year, especially if that offensive line can't protect their quarterback and he can't get it out there. You feel me? So that's where I'm at with the Tennessee Titans. Now, when it comes to the Indianapolis Colts, it's a lot of questions in my eyes. And the top question that comes to me is that quarterback play and Anthony Richardson. Can this guy play majority of the season this year? Can he stay out of concussion protocol? Because everybody is doing this ranting and raving saying that this is the year, his second year, that he's going to take a leap because he's more comfortable with the play calling. He's more comfortable with with remembering plays and stuff like that. And he's a little bit more comfortable with playing in the NFL now. Now, I read this in the CBS Sports, you feel me? And I just think that Anthony Richardson, number 1, most definitely got to take care of his health. If he can't stay healthy, man, now the Indianapolis Colts is pretty much going to be back in the market for a quarterback. And I really just don't think that they should just yet. I think that this guy can hold the fort down for the next couple of years. He got great talent. He got great arm strength. He most definitely got that good dual threat as a quarterback. But he has to learn how to not take unnecessary hits, such as how Lamar had to in the beginning of his career. You feel me? Some of those hits, man, some of those yards you don't have to take. Some of them, it's okay to go down and live for the next play and to make sure that you're healthy and ready for the next drive. You feel me? And I think that's where Anthony Richardson is most definitely going to have to focus on this year. It's not just about throwing up stats, because the Colts are going to be able to throw up stats with some good talent around them with Michael Pittman Jr. and you still got Jonathan Taylor as a good running back. So it's good pieces down there for the Colts. But the thing about it is, like I said, it's just all about, can the quarterback stay healthy and what can he achieve quick? Because the Colts can't really just sit back and just keep letting the Texans win this division. Because, like I said, man, the Texans is up and coming. The Texans is for sure a team, and they already putting them as a top 5 team in the NFL and the AFC right now. So, the Colts. That's why I need to see where the Colts at. Now, speaking of the Houston Texans really stepped their game up to another level. You know, bringing more talent down there with for CJ Stroud and bringing on real confidence that's coming out of Houston, man. D'Amico Ryans really put his imprint on his team as quick, as fast as anything. Because I didn't think that D'Amico Ryans was going to be able to turn his organization around as fast as he did. But D'Amico Ryans has really did it, and CJ Stroud really showed out last year. He put the league on notice. He showed the league that as long as he can stay healthy and he has the tools and the advantages that he has, CJ Stroud will be in the MVP conversation in the upcoming years. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now. You feel me? But not only it's just about CJ Stroud, man. That defense was also able to hold its own last year, man. By being a top 10 defense last year, really showed you that D'Amico Ryans is a good head coach, but is a great defensive mind also, man, because he put the right tools, he drafted the right players, and he brought in the right players also. You know, not just on him, it was also with the help of the Houston Texans GM. But they did put together a good core of pieces last year. And then they went on here and bring in a number 1 wide receiver threat and Stephon Diggs, you feel me, and bringing him. Now, I understand a lot of people is probably going to say, like, he brings attitude to the game. He's going to bring a little bit of dysfunction and all this other good stuff. But Stephon Diggs is a top 5 wide receiver in this game, in my opinion, you feel me? And if you can bring Stephon Diggs down to this organization, man, that's a win. That's a plus because this guy is already 1,000-yard wide receiver regardless. This guy is close to 100 receptions a year. You know what I mean? This guy can most definitely throw up multiple touchdowns in the game. So when you bring that attention down there with the young wide receivers and Collins and Dell that they already have, the Houston Texans can possibly have one of the best trio of wide receivers in the NFL. So with that growing up, man, I feel like the Houston Texans is really showing why that this team can potentially win the AFC South and can potentially be in the playoffs. So this is how I think that the AFC South will unfold, you feel me? I really think that the AFC South will be won by the Houston Texans, you feel me? And I think the Houston Texans will win one more game that they did last year. I see the Houston Texans going 11-6. Now, here's where the rest of the AFC South. I don't see the Jacksonville Jaguars taking the next step up to really challenge the Houston Texans for this division. I see them as the same speed as last year. I think they're going to bring in the same record as last year also. So I can see them going 9-8. I also see the Houston Texans coming in with the same record as last year with that 8-9. I just think that once the Indianapolis Colts can really show their identity or who they are, then maybe it can potentially change. But I see them going 8-9. And the Tennessee Titans are also seeing them repeating the same record, if not less, you feel me? But I give them 6-11. Because like I said, I just don't think that the Titans really went and did what they supposed to do and bring in some more talent to help win this division. Because you know what I mean, if the Houston Texans didn't really take that splash from last year, this will be another division just like the NFC South can be up for grabs. But I really just think that the Houston Texans will really steal this division, and these guys will also be in the playoffs, you feel me? So there you have it. That's my AFC South, the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Tennessee Titans. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what's going to be a very intriguing division, you feel me? It's kind of hard to say who can really win this division, because I think this is another division that's up for grabs. You feel me? And we got to see which quarterback is really going to stand out the most between the three teams, because I don't think this fourth team is really going to be that competitive, because they're going through a lot of changes also. But this division I'm sitting here talking about is the AFC East, where you got the New England Patriots, where you have the Miami Dolphins, where you have the Buffalo Bills, and the New York Jets. You feel me? And like I said, I think that this division is going to be very, very intriguing. You feel me? Because number one, for the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers get to come back. You feel me? Because we only got like 30 seconds of him last year before he tore his Achilles. You feel me? So now the New York Jets is really putting high hopes in Aaron Rodgers, and really just think that this guy has to win a Super Bowl right now. Not get into the playoffs, but win a Super Bowl right now. And I think that Aaron Rodgers feel that pressure, because we already know how the New York media is. The New York media will really hound you. Will make sure that you hear what they have to say. You know what I mean? And I think that as good and as elite as Aaron Rodgers is as a quarterback, man, I really just got to see how can this offensive line protect Aaron Rodgers, because that was the main concern last year, and why Aaron Rodgers didn't last more than 30 seconds, because that offensive line was trash. Now, they went on here and brought back Morgan Moses from the Ravens last year, which I wish we wouldn't have gave up, but they went on here and bring him back on that for that right tackle position. Now, rest of that line haven't really been keeping up with the Jets, but I really just think that if they did not solidify that offensive line, and you got an Aaron Rodgers coming back off that a torn Achilles, I really just think that this is going to be a long year for the New York Jets. Now, don't get me wrong, Aaron Rodgers is one of the fastest quarterbacks that can get the ball out of his hands. Yes, he can do that. But when defense really start collapsing on that, how long can you do that? You feel me? So that's where I'm at when it comes to the New York Jets. When it comes to the Miami Dolphins, man, the Miami Dolphins the question is, number one, can the Dolphins stay hot when the weather gets cold? Because that's all been the same question for the last 2 to 3 years now. Is when it gets to about December and January ball, can the Miami Dolphins travel to these other states where it start getting cold, such as like Baltimore, Buffalo, New England, New York? Can the Dolphins stay warm? Can they stay hot? Can they keep their explosive offense throwing up points? And then now, with Tyreek Hill being the number one player, in 100 players voted by his peers, with now being the number 6 paid wide receiver in the league after he just been negotiating his contract. We want to see, can Tyreek Hill stay healthy? That's one of the main goals for the Miami Dolphins, because as towards the end of the season, as you ran Tyreek, down into the ground, because you had him in every play and every option, that he wasn't able to stay healthy towards the end of the season. Now you have this wide receiver who we were sitting here banking on almost surpassing that 2,000 receiving yards. Would have been pretty dope, you feel me? And now we just want to know, like, what more can we get from Tyreek Hill? Tua. We heard the interview even when Tua was sitting here talking about the difference between Brian Flores and Mike McDaniels, you feel me? And I just really just think that for this situation, I just think that Tua should have just kind of left that alone, in my opinion. I really just think that you kind of stirring up more controversy for yourself later on and during the season, because if you do not produce well, they're going to just sit here and think that Mike McDaniels is sitting here coddling you, pacifying you. You still saying like you need to be breastfed or something in that nature, and you don't like direct criticism, because from that interview, that's what I got, that you Brian Flores might have kept it real during that time. Yes, I understand. You might have had a bad season. You might have sucked. You know what I mean? You might not, that offense that he might have came up with might not have fit your scheme. I totally get it. But as a head coach, man, you know what I mean? You got to keep it real. If it ain't fitting, if it ain't working, then it is what it is. You gotta bite it, and you gotta adjust and make it work. Now, don't get me wrong, Mike McDaniels is really giving you a lot of more options than what Brian Flores is, but every coach is not built like that. You're not going to get coaches like that. You know what I mean? When Nick Saban felt like you wasn't that guy and they put Jalen Hurts in, it was no ill will. I didn't hear you crying then. Or when it was time for Bryce Young to do his thing. Wasn't that much crying then. And you had a old school type head coach in Nick Saban. So I just really just think that Tua really gonna have to kind of ball out this year. Really, really ball out. I'm talking about ball out to the point that he has to be in the MVP conversation now. I'm not saying he's gonna win it or he got any chances of winning it because it's a lot of great quarterbacks. This really coming out this AFC alone. But I really just think that you're really gonna have to really elevate your game to another level for us to sit here and not think that, you know, any difference. You feel me? So and then we got the New England Patriots, who this is Gerard Mayo first year as a head coach. He's also drafted a rookie quarterback and Drake May, who's also got outbeat by Jacoby Brissett for a starting quarterback for the opening season, which we all kind of figured anyway that was going to happen. And I just think that the New England Patriots is really going to have to Pats fan, you're going to have to grab your chairs, man, and hold your feelings because I don't think this is going to be your year also. You feel me? I just think that y'all going to have to find an identity. Y'all going to have to see what Gerard Mayo really brings to the table as a head coach. Like I said, he was a good defensive coordinator for y'all, but now, you know, stepping into that head coaching position, it's going to be kind of different. And this is going to be the first year in so many years that Belichick is not the head of the helm. You know what I mean? He's also not your GM too. So we got to see like how this team is really going to start developing and bringing in. So that's my only question about the Patriots. You feel me? Because last year the Bills and the Dolphins pretty much shared this division. I think the Dolphins wound up taking that division because of the in-conference games. But they was 11-6 Bills, and the Dolphins was 11-6. The Jets was 7-10, and the Patriots was 4-13. Now, what did I see? What I see upcoming this year? I think that the Bills will take a step back this year and go 9-8. I think that the Dolphins will go 10-7. I think the Jets will also go 10-7. You feel me? Because, like I said, they got Aaron Rodgers back. Hopefully, they can protect him and keep him in the full year. I see them having a winning season this year. And the New England Patriots, I just seen them winning one more game than they did last year. Because, like I said, I think they're going to have to find their identity, find out who they is. And the question is about a couple of weeks into the season, if Jacoby Brissett is not ready to go, do you bring in Drake May? So I think that's where I'm at with the in the AFC East. You feel me? I feel like the Dolphins will win this division by like a half game. I want to give them in my eyes. You feel me? Because I just feel like it's really gonna come down to in-conference play. How many games that each team has won or lost in the AFC? You feel me? So if I was to bet on that, I feel like the Dolphins, because the Dolphins could potentially get majority of their wins in the beginning of the season. You feel me? And I just really just think that I can need to see the Jets offensive line. That's pretty much it, man. So that is my AFC East. Now, let's go ahead and talk about my opinion, the best division in NFL football right now. You feel me? And no, I'm not saying it because my team is part of it. I'm not being biased, but what these teams really did last year, man, that all four teams had winning records. All 4 teams damn near sniffed the playoffs. Almost, you feel me? And that is no one other than the AFC North, man. Where you got your Pittsburgh Steelers, your Cincinnati Bengals, your Cleveland Browns, and my very own Baltimore Ravens, you feel me? And I think that this will be another interesting year for the AFC North, man. I really just think that these teams are going to be going at it again, you feel me? Let's start with the Cleveland Browns. We see that the Cleveland Browns had went on here and did a contract restructuring for Deshaun Watson that's trying to free up some more cap space so they can bring some more talent in, which is a great move. Because if they didn't, they would have been stuck with Deshaun Watson contract and no moves to make, man. And it's like, what the hell they was going to do? How was they going to compete? So I think that was a good move for the Cleveland Browns, man. They bring in another wide receiver threat. Steve Smith is not a fan of him, you feel me? But they bring in Jared Judy, who I believe that have a chance to revive his career, man. I think that coming to the Cleveland Browns is not putting a lot of pressure on him because he don't have to be the number 1 wide receiver. You still got Amari Cooper down there, you feel me? And I think that if Jared Judy can really just show up and control that number 2 wide receiver, I think Jared Judy can potentially have a decent year. The Browns Wolves had to start the first 4 to 5 games without Nick Chubb, man, because he's still on that IR, coming back from season injury, ACL injury last year. You feel me? So they most definitely going to be missing him in the beginning of the season. And the Cleveland Browns have the toughest schedule in the AFC out of the whole NFL period. You feel me? So I just think that the Browns will most definitely going to have a little bit of a time this year. You feel me? The Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals is another team that kind of got a little bit of trouble in their looms. You feel me? Because right now they got 2 wide receivers that's not really happy with their contract situations. And you got T. Higgins and you got Jamar Chase, who is their number 1 wide receiver. And it's potential that Jamar Chase, if not having a new contract in front of him, that it's a possibility that this guy may not start the season with the Cincinnati Bengals. And if that's the case, man, Cincinnati Bengals are going to be in trouble. You feel me? Because Jamar Chase is a top 5 wide receiver in this game. Jamar Chase need to get paid. You feel me? And we are new since year 1. When Jamar Chase stepped on the scene and he recorded that 1,000 yards, and I think he had 12 to 13 touchdowns, that we knew that this guy has came on the scene and this guy is really ready to put up big numbers, and potentially Cincinnati going to have to put up big money for this guy. And each year's Jamar Chase has kept on putting up big numbers, decent numbers, top wide receiver numbers, you feel me? And I just think that the Bengals need to go ahead and pay him. Now, the asking price that he's asking for, seeing what Brandon Ayuk just got, I don't think that he will surpass to be the highest paid wide receiver in the game. I still think that's going to be Justin Jefferson, but I really just think that he can wind up being that number 2, number 3 highest paid wide receiver, man. I think that will fit him just fine. But I think that him and Cincinnati got some ways to go before they can create that deal, because you see how long it took Brandon Ayuk to get his deal today. So I just think that there's trouble looming there, but they get a healthy Joe Burrow back, which is a good thing. And if you can protect Joe Burrow is going to deliver. But if you don't have your top guy, then who are you going to deliver to now? That's the question. So I just think that Cincinnati got a little bit of problems ahead of them, but if they can kind of get rid of those problems and everybody can come back, Cincinnati can be a team to be worried about. You feel me? The Pittsburgh Steelers, they went on here and started Russell Wilson as their QB1, which really wasn't no surprise. We all kind of figured it was going to be Russell Wilson to be their starting quarterback anyway, for the simple fact that I think a lot of people is looming and hoping that the Russ from Seattle will come back to play. You feel me? But in my eyes, now that he's in the tougher division, I think that Russell Wilson is really going to have not so easy year, and I think that if he's going to have a rough year, that he need to look over his shoulders because Justin Fields is standing right over top of him, because neither one of these quarterbacks had wowed their coaching staff during this preseason, during the offseason. Nobody really put that step forward to say, I am that guy. You feel me? So I think that reason Russell Wilson really, it was a safe call for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I mean? Because if things don't go right, they can go ahead and pull him and put Justin Fields in. You feel me? So instead of vice versa, they go ahead and start Justin Fields. They was like, nope, we made a mistake in Russell Wilson. And then if he had a good year, then a lot of people would be like, well, Mike told me you should have started Russell Wilson in the beginning, blah, blah, blah. But for the Pittsburgh Steelers is mainly the quarterback play, because these guys can put up numbers, can put up yards, but just can't really put up points. So if the Steelers can find a way to put up points and that defense can match the same intensity, man, the Steelers can also be a trouble team. So that's where I'm at there. I just think that TJ Watt most definitely going to have to stay healthy, because as so far as what I'm saying, the Steelers go as far as TJ Watt. And that's kind of a problem because the injury history that TJ Watt has, man, sometimes that he's out for a long period of time. And if he's out for a long period of time, we see the Steelers kind of coast on some games and lose games that they shouldn't have lost. You feel me? So I just really just think that Russell Wilson really got to come in and put an imprint on this season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially if the Steelers are looking to make the playoffs again. Now my Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore. Yes, sir. We bring in Derrick Henry because I think that's a good move, because last year in the AFC Championship, man, we just abandoned the run. And I think that when you have Derrick Henry, you just can't abandon the run because it's King Henry. You feel me? And I just think that this RPO option with him and Lamar Jackson, man, my gosh, it's going to be either you want your chest or do you want your ankles? Because dealing with these two guys coming downhill, man, who do you really want to take on a hit for? And I also think that this is the year that Lamar takes another step. A lot of people keep on talking about his playoff record. You know what I mean? The only reason why Lamar Jackson don't want to be in the elite conversation because his playoff record. I think that this is the year that Lamar going to go ahead and shut some of these critics' mouths by winning deep into the playoffs. You feel me? And I wouldn't be surprised that the Ravens wind up going deep into the playoffs, because this year the Super Bowl is in New Orleans. The last time the Ravens was in the Super Bowl was in New Orleans. Jacoby Jones is from New Orleans. Rest in peace to him. So I really just feel like that New Orleans is on our mind. You feel me? And should be our destination. Now, where I'm looking at for the Baltimore Ravens is my defense. You know what I mean? With Zach McDonald going here to coach the Seattle Seahawks. You feel me? I mean Mike McDonald. I'm sorry. Go ahead and coach the Seattle Seahawks. Now we got Zach Orr stepping in and really trying to put his name on his defensive coordinator position. You feel me? And I think that he's going to bring that intensity. He's going to bring that. He got the knowledge. He was once a Raven. You feel me? So I just need to see like what type of calling is he going to be? Is he going to be the safe calling? Is he going to be the blitz type of guy? Is he going to send the house? You know what I mean? It's like I'm hoping that we don't get the second coming of Dean Pease. I don't want you to start blitzing when it's like 3rd and 20, and then we lose the first, and we give the offense a first down. It's like, no, Doug, we don't need that. We need consistency. We need edge rushing. We need our DBs to really play up, because now it's a pass happy league that we went and addressed some of those needs in the DB room, because that DB room is stacked. You feel me? So with that, I really just got to see how our defense can really hold up. Now, I'm not expecting the Ravens defense to be as dominant as they was last year, but I really just need to see that the Ravens defense have to be in top 5 in majority of the categories this upcoming season, as far as sacks, total yards, turnovers, and turnover on downs. The Ravens have to be top 5 for them to be a Super Bowl contender team in my eyes, and to help Lamar to go deep into this playoff. So That's what I'm looking for when it comes from the Ravens. You feel me? So last year, of course, last year we seen that the Ravens was 13-4. Secondly was the Cleveland Browns, who went 11-6. Then it was the Pittsburgh Steelers, who went 10-7, and you also had the Bengals, who went 9-8. You feel me? And this year, I think it's going to be a little bit of a change, and it's still going to be competitive in the best division in the NFL, because I still think that the Ravens had the better team and will win this division again with the 12-5 record. And I think that Cincinnati, most definitely, if they can have Jamar Chase ready and to go, I just think that the Cincinnati Bengals could be that team that can also have a healthy Joe Burrow, can win 10 games this year and be competitive in this division. So I see them going 10-7. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns, I think they're going to be sitting there duking it out, because number one, for the Steelers, we got to see what type of Russell Wilson and what he going to bring to this offense. So I just think that while we still waiting to see that, I think they're going to go 8-9. And I think that this could potentially be Mike Tomlin's first year to have a losing season, you feel me? And for the Cleveland Browns, I really don't see them having the same type of year that they had last year. I just don't see it as of right now. And I just think that them not having Nick Chubb in the beginning of the season, they're going to kind of try to find their ways back into the season. So I just don't think that it's going to be enough. And by the time they start figuring things out, it may be a little bit too late for the Cleveland Browns. So I got them going 8-9. So I got my Ravens win this division for the second year straight, followed by the Cincinnati Bengals. Then it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. You feel me? So that is my AFC North prediction. You feel me? So before I wrap this episode up, you feel me? As y'all see who I said who I was going to pick to win each division, you feel me? I said that the Chiefs was going to win the AFC West. I said that the Texans was going to win the AFC South. I said that the Dolphins is going to win the AFC East, you know what I mean, by half a game. It's going to come down to the last game of the season for real. But I also think that Miami is going to win majority of their games beginning of the season. And I think that the Ravens will win the AFC North. And this is what I think my playoff prediction for the AFC can potentially be. Now, there's no particular order. I don't know. I didn't say 1, 2, 3, 4, you know what I mean? But I think that Kansas City will win their division. I think that the Ravens will win our division. I think that the Texans will win the AFC South. And I think that the Dolphins will win the AFC East, you feel me? And I think that the Bengals, the Jets, and the Jaguars will be the wild card teams that get in, you feel me? So this is my AFC playoff prediction, you feel me? And like I said, not in order, but these are the teams who I think that will make the playoffs, you feel me? So if you think you got other teams that could potentially make the playoffs, go ahead and comment below. Tell me who y'all think could potentially make the playoffs out of this AFC this year, you feel me? So there you have it, man. I gave y'all my AFC prediction, you feel me? And like I said, with NFL with just 1 week away, man, I cannot wait to start this season, you feel me? Going to have 17 weeks of the NFL, baby. And this is about to be the best 17 weeks of my life, you feel me? Because this is my favorite time of the year, man. Every Sunday, every Thursday, Saturday, Monday, doesn't matter. I'm up and I'm watching it, you feel me? So make sure y'all tune in to the NFL season. Give me y'all predictions and AFC, you feel me? Tell me who y'all think gonna win each division, and tell me who y'all think gonna make the playoffs, you feel me? So there we have it. That is my AFC prediction show, you feel me? So I appreciate everybody who tuned into this episode, man. Like I said, if you're not already, man, please go out there and like, share, subscribe. to my YouTube channel as I'm trying to grow to 1,000 subscribers, you feel me? And you can go ahead and tell a friend who can be a friend, who could possibly wants to be a friend, that MTMO Sports Podcast is one of the dopest podcasts that you can find on YouTube or any podcast platform, you feel me? And it's going to give you the real stuff, you feel me? Not just the regular, you feel me? So make sure y'all go out here, tune in, tap in, you feel me? Make sure y'all go out here and follow my social media platforms. My Instagram and TikTok is MTMO_sports podcast. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, known as X, or Facebook, you can follow me at THTS My Opinion. You feel me? So before I let y'all go, MTMO prediction season is about to officially jump off for the 4th straight year. Shout out to the people that said they wanted to join, man. I think I got about 6 to 7 heads this year. If you still got a chance, if you willing to join, you feel me? If you want to join the MTMO prediction season, it's free of cost, you feel me? It does not cost anything for you to join. All you gotta do is hit me on my Instagram and my DM, MTMO_sports podcast, and just simply say, yo, I want to join in, you feel me? And like I said, I will send you the link to add you to the Group Me app, you feel me? And that's how everything is going to go down. And like I said, this year, the MTMO prediction season has a little twist to it. You feel me? It ain't just about just picking games. Just to give you a little teaser, it's something dealing with the Monday night games, you feel me? So that's all I'm going to give you. So if you would like to join free of cost, the champion will win a hat and t-shirt, you feel me? So if you want to come out here and support MTMO Sports Podcast, man, please do so. Come on and drop that join me, hit me in my DM and say you want to join in. You feel me? Because like I said, it's been the dope. It's be dope. You feel me? Shout out to my favorite ladies, Locked In Sports, man, as they released their new episode. I believe they on episode 31, man. If you have not followed my favorite ladies, man, do so. They are great females to sit back and give you their opinions about the sports world. You know what I mean? So if you want a female's point of view, man, please go check out Locked In Sports, man. Like I said, real dope content, real dope creators, man, and they are my favorite ladies, man. Shout out to my guy GC3, my guy. He always showing me love and support, man. I appreciate everything that you have done for me and all the things that me and you is working towards. You feel me? Shout out to my guy Mike, my guy Chris. You know what I mean? CP Kings. You feel me? Appreciate y'all for always joining in and tapping in. You feel me? Shout out to my guy Rod Uncensored Network. He is out here doing his comedy thing, man. So check my guy and his work out, man. You feel me? So pretty much all the shout outs I really had, man. And if I miss you, the shout out, man, apologies. Shout out to everybody that watches MTMO or wherever you watching it, whether it's on your phone, your TV, your tablet, iPad, doesn't matter. I greatly appreciate y'all also, you feel me? So there you have it, man. This is my 129th thought, the AFC prediction show. You feel me, man? I appreciate y'all, man. And I catch y'all next week. You feel me? Big trust. This is why I trust anything else. And